Hello and good morning everybody. I am Ambassador Sturm and I would like to welcome you back to American Truck Simulator. Today we're just doing a little short run from Kalispell, Montana over to Spokane, Washington. That way we can have some other stuff going. It's not just the map discovery series, so I would like to do some other stuff in the middle of our map discovery series. And really? Okay, well, fine. Okay, so I guess enough of an intro. Let's get out of the way. Almost tempted to just back up, but probably shouldn't. Okay. Well, anyway, after getting interrupted, like I said, I guess we're not doing much of an intro, but we're just doing a little run from Kalispell over to Spokane, and I basically just wanted to do an episode and a video that wasn't part of the map discovery series, so I'd like to try and keep them separate, hence the other truck. And if you guys all probably know this, but this is a completely different truck. Like, it is the same truck, it is still a Rezbilt, but this is a completely different profile, different truck. This is my main truck that I've been driving. So when you look at my odometer on this one compared to any of the other ones, this one will be one of my highest. And down the bottom right under the miles there, we're at 15,438. But either way, let's just grab our load here and get going. Side the wall. Yep. Oh, I put it right on the edge. That's good. I had the wrong mirror up. Yeah, I had a feeling that wasn't gonna be going the greatest around that corner. Oh well. Not much you can do when you don't have the room. 3, 4. Okay, that's not so bad. Yeah, this is basically just our trip that we're doing. Ending down over here. Start over here. Like I said, it's not a very big trip. I mean, it is over 200 miles, but it's not too horrible. At least when it comes in comparison to, like, our Discovery series. Like, that one I wanted to try and do at least 2 runs an episode, basically. But in doing so, it unfortunately makes the videos that much longer. Like, I can go through and do a little bit of editing magic and, like, shorten some stuff, but, like, once I put, like, the intro on, like, the little actual intro and outro that I use in my videos, like, once I throw those on, those add an extra, I want to say, depending on how I do it, an extra, like, 5 to 10 seconds each. I mean, it doesn't seem like much, but in the grand scheme of things, when you already have a video that's anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half long, if not longer. Oh, pardon me. I know it's not always not everyone's gonna want to actually sit and watch the driving for that long, so I definitely do get what it's like. I do sympathize with everyone on that, so that's why with these ones I like to try and make them a little bit shorter, if I can, just so it's not as bad of having to sit through the truck. But at the same point, I do love being able to drive everyone around, right? Show off the truck a little bit, show off the motor, right, the sounds, all that. If you guys take a look at the description of my videos, at least for the most part, I think other than a couple of the ATS videos, and I think the farming sim videos are the only ones that don't really... Make sure we don't miss our light here. Sorry, lost my train of thought there for a second. But no, it's nice to be able to drive around, right? And like I was saying, I do actually put the motor and stuff in the description that I use usually. Like I said, I think other than a couple of videos for ATS, and I think the farming sim videos, I don't have any of that in there. But older videos back when I was first starting, right? So, but yeah, no, like, feel free to check the description of the videos. I put, usually if I'm running a mod truck, like the Rezbilt that we are today, I will actually put in my description, like, the truck is the Rezbilt. You can find it on Steam. If I'm using, like, one of my personal trailers, or, like, a mod trailer, I usually throw that in there too. But I do also put my setup in the description as well, so, like, my wheel, shifter, pedals, the Patriot box, my button box, and then, right, so I do list the stuff that I actually use. If you guys are ever curious as to what I use and want to find it or anything else, I do usually put where I got them, except for the wheel and pedal setup with the shifter. I haven't actually usually put where I get those, but that's just because my wheel, like the TMX wheel itself, the steering wheel, I got used from a guy in the city, I think not even an hour away from me. Pedals were a Christmas present. I bought the shifter off of Amazon. My old T300 servo base that I had when I had the big wheel, my SCI wheel, I got, of course they gave me a red, but like my big SCI wheel is currently hanging on my wall until I can get another servo base. But yeah, like I said, check the descriptions of the videos. I usually put everything in there that I can, as well as somewhat try and do what I can description wise for the video, right? Like try and do a brief description being like, hey, this is what we're doing, and right, so, and like I've said in the last video, I do believe part 5 of the map discovery series, if you guys have another truck that you guys would like to see, whether it's like a new, like say a Kenworth T680, like the next gen Kenworth, right? Or maybe like an International or a Mack or a Freightliner. Like if you guys want to see some different trucks that aren't just a Pete, absolutely let me know. I have no issues driving other trucks. Like I've said before, I do love my Pete, I do, but I'm not one of those guys that's gonna only drive this truck and that's it. As I know for the most part, I think other than a couple paint packs, I think it's the steering creations pack, and I think maybe a wheel pack. Other than those, I am pretty sure I have all of the DLCs and everything, so I've got all the states out so far, I've all the trucks that they've done, like when they brought out the next gen T680, the International LT, all that stuff, right? Like those extra trucks that you can get for free. I have all those as well, so absolutely drop it in the comments. Let me know what you guys would like to see going down the road. Town, let's head up top. And for anyone curious and wondering, I do like driving up top. Especially when it comes to, say, stuff like that. The views, everything else, like, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. You get me out in, like, this view, I don't drive the greatest, because, well, it's a little bit weird. When you go from doing something like this, or this, to this. That's why I usually like to sit up here on top of the cab. Everyone can see all the scenery, the work SCS has put in, because we all know how much work they've been putting in with this and the detail they go into this. So I would love to be able to show that off for everyone, but it's also, I can still see, like, if you look at the bottom of the screen here, right in the middle, you can see the nose of my truck. So I still know where I am in the lane. I still have no issues driving like this, but I do this more for everyone else, so they can actually be able to see where I'm driving and what I'm driving through, and even hear the motor a bit, like turbo right now. Shut that off for a second. Like here, the turbo spool, right? And for the most part, you can get that stuff in the cab, but I definitely get it a lot clearer and a lot nicer sitting out here on top. And I'll just, that way if anyone's curious and wondering why I am sitting up top as opposed to sitting in the cab, I like doing it for you guys so you guys can actually see where I am, see what I'm doing. Like, we just passed a sign a mile or two back that was the Idaho border, so like for the most part driving in the cab, I don't pay that much attention to those signs, but it also takes a bit for me to be able to read them. Like, I can't even read what the gas prices are on that green sign right now. Like, I can see that there's prices. I can see the individual numbers, but it's like a blurry little block of a number. But if you look to the left and just on the side of the building there, it says Truck Works. Yeah, I got no issues. I can see that from here. And now I can finally see the gas prices. So yeah, that's why I'm not horribly worried about seeing signs and stuff like that, because, well, I usually don't. But at least if I can give you guys the chance to actually see everything, that is good enough for me. How much room are you? Is this guy giving me back here? Not much. Okay, can you sneak around my nose there? No. Okay. Oh, you can. You did perfect. Down for a second. Let's see if I can go in here. And I'll hop back down so I don't hit a wall. Say, there's a pretty weird looking runaway ramp. I mean, to be fair, most of the only runaway ramps that I see are pretty much in the side of a hill or at the side of a mountain. We don't usually see runaway ramps around where I live, because where I live is more prairie, small foothills than it is hills and mountains. Like for the actual mountains and stuff, you need to get closer to BC. And just if anyone's curious why I'm talking about BC and everything, I live in Alberta. I'm Canadian, so yeah, I am pretty much in central Alberta, 50 minutes away from Edmonton, our capital. So yeah, around here, like, we don't get too much, like, we don't have any runaway ramps. But like I said, you start getting closer to BC and like their border with us and everything, you start getting to the mountains, you see runaway ramps everywhere. But like I was saying, it was weird. I've never seen a runaway ramp that was flat like that. Like I said, most of ours are on the side of a hill or a mountain. So it's pretty much you come down one part of the hill and just before you start going up again, they'll have a runway ramp on the side. So if the trucks do lose their brakes and everything, they have gravity to also help stop them because they basically are trying to climb a gravel hill. And yeah, that's what we use for runway ramps, is big hills with a giant gravel road on them that's packed with somewhat loose gravel and dirt. That way it can actually, like, basically the truck tires go and like sink into it kind of thing. Uses its weight to keep it down. Yeah, no, that's like I was saying, that is weird. I've never seen a runway ramp like that. I mean, we very well might possibly have them like that here in Alberta, but what I can remember, have never seen them. Well, I must say, it's a good thing I have almost 1100 horsepower under my hood at my disposal. Otherwise, I don't think I would have quite made that. To be fair, most people probably look at me and being like, well, you should have just slowed down and let them go anyway. It's like, yeah, I should have. But I didn't. Oh well. Places to be, I'm not too worried about it. Although for how far our trip was today, I am a little surprised we aren't doing that bad for time. Like, I'm sitting here looking at my elapsed time in my little box. If you guys remember, if you guys saw episode 5 of the Map Discovery series, you'll probably, there's a little part in there you'll probably hear me talk about it. It's a little box top right of my screen. It basically sits almost at the top of my right side mirror. Yeah, no, like driving through and like you see all this, like how can you not wanna look at that? Like I would almost love to stop. Like this would be a really nice picture spot. Man, that's why I sit up here as opposed to in here. Because in here it'd be all that, and then you still got the truck to deal with. Whereas up here, it's you don't worry about the truck. You literally just get the scenery, and that's it. Makes it really nice. Makes it really calm some days too. Like some days I'll hop on, like not recording a video or anything, and I'll just jump on one of my like 7 or 8 profiles I have on here, and I'll just go, right? I'll just start doing runs. And for the most part, I just sit up here because it's where I like sitting. I get to see everything, and I actually can hear my truck, right? And they definitely have some good scenery going around in here. Definitely props to SCS for that. There's some stuff that they could do better, but for the most part, let's not hit the wall there. Like, they've done really good with this. like, I can't completely attest to how accurate everything is, because, well, like I said, I'm Canadian, and I wouldn't really know, especially in parts like where I am in here, right? Dip. Good. But yeah, stuff like currently in Idaho, I don't think I've ever actually been there in person. But yeah, basically, when it comes to Canada, you got BC up here, which would be to about here kind of thing, and goes up this way, and then here, up, over, down, and a little bit cut off. Basically, like right here would be Alberta. So I would be like right up in here, a little bit farther north, basically. But I've even taken trips to the States. We'll go from here, gone down to, there's a little town right in here, right north of Bellingham here, just over by the border, called Abbotsford in BC. So basically we would drive from Alberta, drive through the mountains, through BC, come down here, and then we actually came down, and I think Medford. Oh no, it might have been the 101 I was on. But yeah, we came down like through Seattle, this stuff, and then drove down the coast all the way, went to San Francisco, LA, and then we went from there, went into Vegas, and then basically came back north this way. Cut the bottom corner of Arizona, and then yeah, up through part of Idaho, and then Montana, and up to home. So yeah, when it comes to like where we are right now, I wouldn't know how accurate it is, but some places like Seattle, San Francisco, like there's some stuff in there I can absolutely pick out and be like, hey, I've been there in person. But like I said, that's select few spots, and that's literally like the West Coast. Other than that, I probably wouldn't know. But anyway, that's enough of me rambling on. We're only 29 miles out. Just gonna wait for this light. Hopefully it won't take too much longer. Some coffee. So, they just actually gave me a green. Now I'm a little shocked. Usually I don't get that lucky. Like when we went through, or when we went by the one earlier. I was a little surprised, but it's also because I don't know if they actually have that way station functional yet, so. But yeah, usually I don't get that lucky. I get red lights all the time. But a lot of times I'm also taking stuff that's a bit bigger and a bit heavier. Like I'll do runs like the heavy equipment, low boys. I've definitely taken a couple of those runs that are over 200,000 pounds for just the load alone. That's like not even including my truck and trailer. Like I grab a 230,000 pound load and I end up at like 270, 260, 270-ish kind of area. But I mean, today is just a little one. Like it's only 38,000 pounds. That's one reason this thing hasn't really cared that didn't go on the curb. I'm a little surprised. I was absolutely expecting that to crawl over the curb. Where are we? Right in there between the two. Go over the speed bump here. Hop back inside for this, so I actually have camera movement. One of these days I definitely do need to get myself a head tracker. Because, well, needless to say, this pretty much always pushing buttons, mapping buttons, like go. Alright. That's probably one of the best ones I've done in a while. weird because I usually don't like the rail export yards, at least the older yards. These new ones are actually pretty nice. I don't mind them at all. You get room and you can actually back into places. Unlike the older rail export yards when you had to try and back it around like the hard 90-degree corner, and it's like, it's not so fun when you drive a stretched Pete. Like if I had the short one, it wouldn't be so bad. But the fact that, let's get ourselves in spot here. Here we go. The fact that I like driving a stretched Pete, yeah, that's not fun in some of the small yards. So I am absolutely thankful, like really thankful, that they started making these yards bigger in the newer expansions. Finally. Because yeah, some of the older yards in some of the older states is just a pain in the butt. But anyway, let's get this dropped. Alright. It's 233 miles, 7 hours, 11 minutes. We only used 32 gallons of fuel. Huh. I'm almost a little more shocked the fact that it's 32 gallons even. Either I don't pay that much attention or that doesn't happen very often. Anyway, no need to worry about it. Let's get under the trailer here and back over to the entrance. That kind of works out that there's parking spots here. Makes it a lot easier than having to try and drive and go find a spot to park. At least we can just park right out front. Leaves us a good spot to leave off. Leaves us literally right out the gate if we want to come back in here for another load. But I'm gonna call her there. That's all for me today. I would love to thank everyone for joining in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, like I was saying, if you guys want to see different trucks or truck and trailer combos, drop them in the comments. Let me know. Like, and if I don't have one, I can see what I can do to try and get one. Like, it's one thing I do love about the modding community for this game. If I can't find something on Steam, I can usually find it with a quick Google search, or I can go look at like the forums, right? So, absolutely, like, drop me a comment if you guys want to see something other than the Rezbilt or the Haterbilt or a Pete. Because like I said, I do have them, it's just, I like driving these. This is the kind of style of truck that I love driving, so that's why I keep driving them. But, yeah, let me know if you want to see a different truck. I know I have to do, I think, probably a driver update on the graphic card. So I think that's one of the reasons I'm having issues with the way the Haterbilt looks. Like it's just got some extra textures and stuff on it that usually aren't supposed to be there. So I think that's just a graphic driver issue that I will get solved at some point. But like I said, that's all today. Thank you for joining. I'm Ambassador Th8a, signing off.